Welcome back to Kylo's stretch videos. In today's video, we'll be discussing the head and the neck. So a lot of people, including myself, tend to carry a lot of tension in your upper traps, your neck area, even sometimes up at the base of the skull and the head. You might even get some tension headaches and things like that as well. So we'll go through a couple of stretches throughout this video, targeting those areas and how to relieve and prevent these issues from arising in the first place. So the reasons, why do we tend to get a sore neck? So obviously it can be poor posture. You know, if we are going through our daily routine and most of the time we're hunched over, if you've watched the video on kyphosis, we do discuss tips and tricks for that as well. Kyphosis is a rounding of the shoulders, the forward head. Those are things that tend to affect your head and neck quite heavily. But today we'll be discussing mostly of the head and the neck. So poor posture, this can come from advancement of technology. It can be, as technology has grown, lots of people are on their phones. So putting your head down, looking down, texting for a lot of your day. Couple that with an office position, you may be typing, you may be starting to slouch into a more relaxed position. You do know the office ergonomics and how that comes into play, but a lot of us tend to use the office ergonomics for about, an hour or two, and then we get back into our slouchy position. So how can we correct that? Other than inserting a little microchip that buzzes you every 5 seconds, encouraging you to maintain a proper posture, you can also do some stretches. So before we get into that, we covered the poor posture, but there's also the stress response. So as humans, when we tend to get stressed, a lot of us will tend to hunch up like this without even realizing it. And so the next time that you're feeling stressed, take a deep breath and notice where your shoulders are at. They may not be way up here by your ears, but they will be a little bit higher than they normally would be. And when you notice that, it's a good time to take a breath and relax. So as we've discussed, the purpose of this video is to go over the prevention of all this discomfort in the head and the neck, and the treatment if you are experiencing some of these symptoms as well. Of course, if it's anything severe, anything abnormal, definitely go and seek your doctor's advice. Go to a healthcare provider like your physiotherapist and let them know. There may be some underlying conditions that you may not be aware of. Okay, so let's get started into our head and neck routine. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into some stretches we can do for our upper traps, our neck, and our head as well. So the first thing that I'd like to go over is a forward head. And what that means is usually we tend to bring our chin forward when we're stressed and hunch our shoulders up, or we round our shoulders like so. So our head carries a lot of weight, and we want to put it back into its place. So it's going to feel like you're doing a double chin, but that's okay. So you take your chin, you bring it as far back as you can, and it's called a chin tuck exercise. So relax, and then bring your chin as far back as you can. Now, I don't recommend that you tie some resistance band around your head into the fridge like you may see in some YouTube videos. Maybe avoid that one. But just doing this exercise 10 times, twice a day, should help alleviate some of that pressure that you're feeling on the neck. Okay? If it helps, you can place your hand over your chin as an anchor to feel exactly how your head is moving. And as always, having a mirror in front of you can help as well. The next thing I'd like to go over is some neck stretches. So stretching the neck, first thing that we're going to avoid is looking at like this. Now the reason I want to avoid that one is because if you have some underlying neck issues, this may actually cause some more strain on the neck without realizing that it does. So if you are clear to do so, your physician says you can go ahead and extend your neck upwards, you can do this exercise. But if you're unsure or unaware, always get a second opinion before you start that one. So the top 3 stretches that we're going to be doing for our neck today, we're going to go through some flexion, so bringing your head down towards the base of your sternum here, and then back up, and then down towards your sternum, and back up. And one more time, down towards your sternum and back up. So you might feel this along the back of your neck, and even down into your upper back if you are feeling some tightness and tension there too. So usually if you try and go slowly, 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 you can even pinpoint the point at which you start to feel the stretch working for you. And so when you reach that point, try to hold it a little bit longer, as much as you can, and go a little bit further each time. And this will stretch the muscles even more. Next one that we're going to do is rotation. So you're going to turn your head as far as you can towards the other side. And you can imagine that you are leading your nose to follow all the way towards the wall. So starting with a straight position, taking a deep breath, and turning your head slowly towards the other side. With all of these stretches, you always want to go in a slow and controlled motion. Never rush any stretches, because that's how injuries can happen, and you're not getting the benefit of the stretch that you would like to have. And once you do 10 on one side, you can always do 10 on the other as well. Any exercise that involves more than one side of your body, make sure you do both sides unless you've been indicated to do otherwise. Okay, and this incorporates balance and stability for the body as well. The next one that we're going to do is a lateral flexion, or a side bend of the neck. So you're going to bring your ear towards your shoulder. You don't want to hunch your shoulder up, keep it down where it should be, and just bring your ear as far down as you can. You should feel this one along the side of your neck here. And if you like, you can add an arm over your ear for a deeper stretch as well. You can play some music, have some candles lit, create the environment, and enjoy your stretch break. It's time for yourself to really loosen up those stretches and those muscles that are holding a lot of tension. Okay, so those are the three neck stretches. The following two stretches that we're going to do are going to be covering the upper neck all the way into your upper traps as well. And this one is targeting your levator scapula muscle and your upper traps muscle as well. This is the one where you tend to feel a lot of the tension, where you get a lot of the knots, spend a lot of massage money on that one. So if you ever have the time and you're feeling a lot of pain on a particular day, just hold this position for at least 10, 15, even 30 seconds to relieve some of that tension. So the way to do it, you're going to turn your head as far as you can in one direction, bring your nose down to your shoulder, and if you like, you can add an arm over your ear and just towards the back of your head as well, and just lightly tug down. Another way to remember it is the smelly armpit stretch. So if you imagine smelling your armpit, it's the same motion. And if you don't feel it really as much as you should be, always cue yourself to bring your nose even closer to your shoulder. Okay? The closer your nose is to your shoulder, the more you will feel the stretch. A great way to target the upper traps here in the levator scap, if you have the time and you have some heat packs, you can place them over the muscles in this area on both sides before you do the stretch. Anytime that you're heating a muscle, you're helping to lengthen the muscle by relaxing it. And so that gives you a deeper stretch over time. So the final stretch of today's video is stretching the rhomboids. So what are the rhomboids? They're the muscles in your upper back that help you when you're doing a row, squeezing your shoulder blades together, and relaxing. Keep doing that exercise because this is going to help prevent your kyphosis. So in order to stretch it, because it does need a stretch every once in a while, you're going to lace your fingers together, bring your arms forward, dip your head down, and hold. Breathe and relax. Do that one for 15, 20, 30 seconds. The longer you hold any of these stretches, the more beneficial it will be for you. That concludes today's video. We'll see you in the next one.